Welcome to Legends Remembered, a special tribute to the wrestling icons who shaped the sport and left an unforgettable legacy. Their passion and dedication continue to inspire fans worldwide. Today, we also bring you emotional news about CM Punk, whose recent situation has touched many hearts. Join us as we celebrate their lives through heartfelt memories and moving tributes. Subscribe to keep their stories alive and ensure their legacies are never forgotten. Starman, born on November 16, 1974, was a beloved professional wrestler whose vibrant personality and high-flying in-ring style made him a standout figure in the wrestling world. He tragically, leaving behind a legacy marked by passion, entertainment, and inspiration. Best known for his colourful persona and star-covered ring attire, Starman brought joy and energy to every match. His look, bright, bold, and instantly recognisable, resonated strongly with fans, especially children, who were drawn to his superhero-like presence. More than just his appearance, it was his aerial prowess and fearless athleticism that earned him admiration. With a style rooted in high-flying maneuvers and fast-paced action, he dazzled crowds in promotions across the wrestling circuit. Starman's appeal extended far beyond the ring. He was a fixture at charity events and local wrestling shows, always eager to give back to the community that supported him. Whether it was signing autographs, mentoring young talent, or simply spreading positivity backstage, Starman embodied the spirit of a true role model. His dedication to the wrestling world, both professionally and personally, was widely respected. News of his untimely passing sent shockwaves through the wrestling community. Tributes poured in from fans, fellow wrestlers, and organisations, all honouring a man who gave so much to the industry he loved. Though gone too soon, Starman's legacy endures in the memories of thrilling matches, heartfelt interactions, and the joy he brought to audiences everywhere. He will always be remembered not only for his in-ring talents, but for his kindness, generosity, and the bright light he brought to the world of professional wrestling. Starman was more than a performer. He was an inspiration whose star will continue to shine. Vivian Vachon, born on January 23, 1951 in Montreal, Quebec, was a trailblazing Canadian professional wrestler and a proud member of the legendary Vachon wrestling family. The daughter of Paul Butcher Vachon and sister to several accomplished wrestlers, Vivian was raised in a world where wrestling was more than a sport. It was a way of life. She began her wrestling career in the stepping into the ring at a time when women's wrestling struggled for mainstream recognition. Despite the challenges, Vivian quickly made a name for herself across major promotions like the AWA and WWF, now WWE. With her intense in-ring style, undeniable charisma, and fearless attitude, she stood out as one of the few women commanding respect in a male-dominated industry. Vivian was more than just a performer. She was a pioneer who helped elevate women's wrestling at a time when opportunities were scarce. Her matches captivated audiences, and her presence helped pave the way for future generations of female wrestlers. She proved that women could be both tough and talented, breaking down stereotypes and winning over fans around the world. Tragically, Vivian's life was cut short in a car accident in 1991 at just 39 years old. Though her career and life ended too soon, her legacy continues to resonate within the wrestling community. She is remembered not only for her contributions in the ring, but also for her strength, determination, and trailblazing spirit. Vivian Vachon remains a symbol of courage and resilience, and her influence can still be felt in the strides women's wrestling has made since her time. Her name is etched in wrestling history as a true pioneer who helped change the game. Sherry Martel, born Sherry Russell on February 8, 1958, was a trailblazing force in professional wrestling, known for her magnetic charisma and commanding presence. Best remembered by her ring name, Sensational Sherry, she left a lasting legacy as both an in-ring competitor and a legendary manager. Martel began her wrestling career in the and quickly made a name for herself with her theatrical flair and fierce persona. Her real breakthrough came in World Wrestling Entertainment, WWE, where she became one of the most iconic managers in wrestling history. She notably managed Macho Man Randy Savage, forming a powerful duo that elevated both of their careers. Her dramatic, over-the-top presence added emotional intensity and depth to Savage's storylines, cementing her reputation as a key player in the golden era of wrestling. In addition to Savage, Sherri also managed other top stars like Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase, and played pivotal roles in major storylines that captivated audiences. Her ability to enhance a wrestler's character while commanding attention for herself was a rare skill, earning her immense respect across the industry. Beyond WWE, Martel made significant contributions in WCW and NFAB, showcasing her adaptability and enduring appeal. Whether portraying a villainous manager or getting involved in matches, Sherri's bold personality always stood out. Tragically, Sherri Martel, at the age of 49, due to an overdose of prescription medications. Her underscored the ongoing issues of substance abuse in the wrestling world. Despite her untimely passing, her influence remains deeply felt. Sensational Sherri helped shape the careers of some of wrestling's biggest names and paved the way for future generations of women in the business, making her an unforgettable figure in wrestling history. Absolute Andy, born Andreas Ullmann on June 1, 1983, in Krefeld, Germany, is a standout name in European professional wrestling. Best known for his work with Westside Extreme Wrestling, WXW. Since debuting in the early 2000s, Andy has become a cornerstone of the German wrestling scene, celebrated for his charisma, adaptability, and storytelling both in and out of the ring. Wrestling under the moniker Absolute Andy, he quickly gained attention for his larger-than-life persona, a mix of arrogance, confidence, and sharp wit. His style blends technical wrestling, power-based offense, and ring psychology, allowing him to thrive against a wide range of opponents. Over the years, Andy proved himself as a main event player, becoming a two-time WXW Unified World Wrestling Champion. His rivalries with top names like Walter, now WWE's Gunther, Ilya Dragunov, and Carsten Beck helped define an era in WXW and drew international attention to the promotion. Beyond singles competition, Andy also found success in tag team wrestling, showcasing his versatility and ability to work in different match formats. A key part of his enduring popularity is his knack for evolving his character. Whether as a brash heel or a beloved veteran, Andy consistently connected with fans. Outside the ring, Andy has served as a mentor and trainer, playing a pivotal role in shaping the next generation of European wrestlers. His knowledge and passion for the craft have earned him respect across the wrestling world. Absolute Andy's legacy is built on excellence, longevity, and influence. He remains a vital figure in German wrestling history and a symbol of how dedication and reinvention can create lasting impact in professional wrestling. Harley Race, born April 11, 1943 in Missouri, was one of professional wrestling's most respected and influential figures. Known for his tough-as-nails persona, impeccable in-ring technique, and commanding presence, Race carved out a legendary career that spanned several decades and helped define the sport during the golden era of the 1970s and 1980s. Race's legacy is anchored by his remarkable run as an 8-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, a record that stood as a benchmark for excellence and toughness in professional wrestling. His matches were hard-hitting and methodical, earning him a reputation as a true ring general. He engaged in fierce rivalries with icons like Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, and Terry Funk, encounters that became cornerstones of classic wrestling storytelling and further elevated his legendary status. Beyond his in-ring success, Harley Race made lasting contributions outside the ropes. As a promoter and trainer, he founded the Harley Race Wrestling Academy in Eldon, Missouri, where he mentored many future stars and on his deep knowledge of the sport. His dedication to developing new talent reflected his passion and respect for the wrestling business. Despite enduring numerous injuries and health issues throughout his life, Race remained committed to wrestling until his final years. In recognition of his monumental contributions, he was inducted into multiple halls of fame, including the WWE Hall of Fame in 2004. Harley Race, but his legacy endures. He is remembered not just for his titles and rivalries, but for his fierce dedication, professionalism, and the profound influence he had on generations of wrestlers. Race's name remains synonymous with toughness, respect, and excellence in the world of professional wrestling. Black Warrior, born on January 7, 1969, was a beloved Mexican professional wrestler whose legacy left a lasting impact on the world of lucha libre. He, leaving behind a celebrated career filled with memorable moments, fierce rivalries, and passionate performances. Emerging in the early 1990s, Black Warrior quickly made a name for himself in promotions across Mexico, captivating fans with his high-flying maneuvers and technical mastery. His signature top rope Hurricane Rana and precise submission holds highlighted his incredible athleticism and in-ring versatility. With a magnetic presence and dynamic wrestling style, he built a strong fan base and earned the respect of peers and audiences alike. Throughout his career, Black Warrior captured multiple championships and engaged in intense rivalries with some of Lucha Libre's biggest names. These feuds produced classic matches that elevated his status as one of the top luchadors of his era. His commitment to excellence and storytelling made him a standout performer in the ring. Beyond his in-ring success, Black Warrior was deeply respected for his role as a mentor. He dedicated time to guiding younger talent, passing on his knowledge and passion for the sport. His influence helped shape the careers of many rising stars in the industry. Black Warrior's untimely left a profound void in the wrestling world. Yet his legacy lives on through the matches he gave fans, the wrestlers he mentored, and the mark he left on Lucha Libre. He will always be remembered as a skilled, charismatic, and passionate performer who gave everything to the sport he loved. Tim White, born on March 25, 1954, was a respected and beloved figure in the world of professional wrestling. With a career spanning several decades, White left an indelible mark on the industry through his work as both a referee and a backstage producer. He, leaving behind a legacy of professionalism, integrity, and passion for the sport he devoted his life to. White began his journey in wrestling in the 1970s, gradually rising through the ranks to become one of the most trusted referees in the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE. He officiated some of the most iconic and high-stakes matches in wrestling history, earning the admiration of fans and performers alike. Known for his no-nonsense demeanour and fairness in the ring, White was often the man in charge during some of the most memorable showdowns of the era. In addition to his work as a referee, White played a key role behind the scenes in WWE, contributing to the creative and production aspects of the business. His experience and insight were invaluable, and he mentored countless young talents as they navigated their early days in the industry. He was especially known for his long-standing friendship with the legendary Andre the Giant, a bond that extended beyond the ring and resonated deeply with fans. Tim White was a major loss to the wrestling world. Colleagues remembered him not just as a professional, but as a kind, generous, and loyal friend. His dedication to the sport and the people within it earned him lasting respect. Tim White's influence is still felt today, and he remains an inspiration to referees, producers, and performers striving to uphold the standards he set throughout his remarkable career. CM Punk is more than just a wrestling superstar. He's a walking emblem of defiance, a symbol of passion, and one of the most polarizing figures in modern pro wrestling history. From indie darling to WWE champion, from the infamous pipe bomb to the explosive walkout, and from the UFC octagon to AEW's main event scene, Punk's journey has never been linear. It has been raw, rugged, and real. But behind the accolades and headline-making promos lies another story. A physical one, etched into his body through years of unrelenting punishment. CM Punk's career has been marred, shaped, and, in some cases, defined by injuries. From nagging joint pain to emergency surgeries and a highly publicised staph infection, Punk's resilience has often been tested. And yet, time and again, he's fought back, sometimes stubbornly, sometimes controversially, but always with grit. This article takes a deep dive into CM Punk's injury history, tracing the documented health battles he's endured throughout his legendary career. We'll explore what's confirmed, debunk the overblown rumours, and paint a complete picture of the physical toll that comes with being one of wrestling's most iconic figures. It's the indie circuit years. Laying the groundwork and the bruises before CM Punk ever stepped foot in a WWE ring, he was grinding through the indie wrestling scene, taking bumps in poorly lit venues and wrestling under grueling conditions. In promotions like EWI Mid-South, Ring of Honor, ROH, and various hardcore federations, Punk wasn't just building a reputation, he was absorbing punishment. In ROH, Punk participated in highly physical matches against the likes of Samoa Joe, Raven, and Colt Cabana. These bouts, while lauded by fans, involved chair shots, long-duration submissions, and brutal bumps. Without the resources and medical oversight of a major promotion, Punk often worked through pain with little to no recovery time. There were no official injury lists or wellness checks in the indie scene. If you could move, you could wrestle. And Punk did just that. This push-through-the-pain mentality would become both a signature trait and a recurring problem throughout his career. WWE era, stardom, wear and tear, and medical controversy. Once Punk joined WWE in 2005, the stakes and the strain got higher, though he quickly found success with the ECW brand and eventually became a multi-time world champion. His WWE run came with a mounting list of injuries. Knee and elbow problems. During his peak years from 2011 to 2013, when he held the WWE Championship for a record 434 days, Punk was constantly dealing with chronic pain. Recurring knee problems, particularly inflammation and ligament strain, were a constant battle. He also suffered from elbow issues, exacerbated by repeated falls and top rope maneuvers. One of the most significant incidents occurred in late 2012, when Punk required knee surgery while still champion. The injury forced him to miss multiple weeks of in-ring action and momentarily stalled one of the most impressive title reigns in modern WWE history. While Punk did return fairly quickly, he later admitted that he rushed his recovery, not wanting to lose his momentum or his spot. Wrestling through pain became Punk's unfortunate norm. Unlike others who took time off for rehab, Punk pushed forward, even when medical logic would have advised otherwise. This approach only worsened his condition over time. The staph infection controversy. Perhaps the most infamous health-related chapter in CM Punk's WWE story is the alleged staph infection that surfaced during the final months of his tenure. After walking out of WWE in early 2014, Punk appeared on Colt Cabana's podcast and dropped a bombshell. He claimed he had been wrestling with a serious staph infection on his back that WWE's medical team failed to diagnose properly. According to Punk, a large lump had developed and caused persistent fatigue and pain. Despite repeated visits to WWE doctors, he said he was told it was nothing serious, just a fatty deposit. Eventually, Punk consulted an independent physician who immediately diagnosed it as a full-blown staph infection, requiring urgent treatment. Had it gone untreated longer, it could have become life-threatening. WWE's medical team, particularly Dr. Chris Amann, denied the allegations, leading to a defamation lawsuit against Punk and Cabana. The case went to trial, but the jury ultimately sided with Punk, affirming his claims at least in the court of public opinion. To this day, the staph infection remains one of the most talked about health scandals in WWE history, casting a long shadow over Punk's exit and exposing the blurred lines between entertainment, athlete welfare, and corporate image control. Could the MMA detour, new discipline, new pains? After severing ties with WWE, CM Punk shocked the sports world by announcing his move to the UFC. Critics scoffed, fans were divided, and MMA purists rolled their eyes. But Punk was determined. He trained intensively for nearly 2 years before making his UFC debut in 2016. Despite a valiant effort, Punk was defeated in the first round by Mickey Gall. He returned for one more fight in 2018 against Mike Jackson, which also ended in a loss. While Punk didn't suffer any serious career-altering injuries during his brief MMA career, the training alone took a toll. Daily sparring, grappling and cardio drills pushed his already battered body even further. Bruised ribs, muscle fatigue, and post-fight soreness became routine. However, Punk viewed MMA as both a personal challenge and a cleansing chapter after his WWE ordeal. Even though the results weren't in his favour, he gained respect for stepping into the octagon and testing himself in a legitimate combat sport. AEW chapter: Comeback, momentum and setbacks. In 2021, after a 7-year absence from professional wrestling, CM Punk returned to thunderous applause in AEW. His comeback reignited fan excitement and brought a new layer of credibility to the young promotion. Yet, the long layoff had consequences. Though Punk looked sharp in his early matches, his body wasn't the same. Injuries came faster than expected, and they hit harder. Broken foot, 2022. In June 2022, shortly after winning the AEW World Championship, Punk suffered a broken foot during a segment on AEW Dynamite. It wasn't in a match, but during a dive into the crowd. The injury required surgery and forced him to vacate the title temporarily. The recovery process was difficult, and fans noticed that Punk's movement post-surgery wasn't quite the same. His in-ring style became slightly more grounded, with fewer high-impact maneuvers. Nevertheless, he returned later that year and tried to pick up where he left off, though the clock was clearly ticking on his physical prime. Torn triceps, 2024 Royal Rumble. In a moment that deflated fans as quickly as it excited them, Punk tore his triceps during the 2024 Royal Rumble, just weeks after making his dramatic return to WWE. The injury occurred mid-match, and while Punk attempted to power through, it was clear something was wrong. He later confirmed the tear and underwent surgery shortly after. A torn triceps is a major setback for any athlete, requiring months of rehab and greatly limiting upper body strength and motion. For Punk, now in his mid-40s, the injury posed serious questions about how much longer he could keep competing at a high level. Sorting fact from fiction. Debunking the rumours. CM Punk has always attracted headlines, and his injury history is no exception. However, not every story floating around is accurate. Let's clarify a few of the most common rumours. Rumour: CM Punk's career is officially over false. While the triceps tear in 2024 was severe, there has been no confirmation that Punk plans to retire. On the contrary, several credible sources and Punk himself have hinted that he's undergoing rehabilitation with an eye toward a comeback. Given his history of returning against the odds, it wouldn't be surprising to see Punk lace up his boots again, albeit on a more limited basis. Rumour: Punk suffers from a chronic illness false. Some fans have speculated that Punk's frequent absences are due to an undisclosed chronic condition. While Punk has spoken candidly about mental burnout and physical exhaustion, there is no public evidence or medical confirmation of a chronic illness that impedes his ability to wrestle. Confirmed: staph infection and triceps. These two injuries are well documented and undeniably serious. The staph infection nearly went untreated and could have caused far more damage had Punk not acted. The triceps tear is equally real, requiring surgery and extensive rehab. For CM Punk's grit, the injuries didn't define him. They proved him. CM Punk's wrestling career is far more than just a story of rebellion and charisma. It's a powerful narrative of endurance, resilience, and relentless passion. Over the years, his body has endured punishing battles, countless injuries, and moments that would have sidelined most athletes indefinitely. Yet Punk kept pushing forward, often battling through pain that few fans even knew about. From defending the world title with a swollen knee, to stepping into the UFC octagon and taking brutal punishment without complaint, Punk's toughness has always been one of his defining traits. Even after years away from wrestling, he made a remarkable comeback at 45, determined to prove that his fire hadn't died out. Unfortunately, injuries continued to hamper his journey, forcing him to step back once again. Despite the uncertainty surrounding if or when he might return to the ring, Punk's legacy is already cemented. His impact isn't just measured by championships or memorable promos, but by the battles he fought behind the scenes, the silent struggles with injury, and the grit to keep going when most would have quit. Punk's story is one of a fighter who refused to be broken, even when his body said otherwise. For fans, the hope remains that if CM Punk ever does return, it won't be because he needs to prove something to others. It'll be because that indomitable fighting spirit still lives within him. And if he never steps back into the squared circle, his legacy remains untarnished, defined by his unyielding will and the path he carved on his own terms. In every sense, CM Punk has always done things his way, injuries and all.